Hey everybody, Randy Patterson here with Boomerocity, and I have a fun interview for you guys this episode. It is with Dwayne Cooper and Dominic Nolfi of the Doo Wop Project, and they have a new album out called Echoes of the Street, and I got to chat with those two guys about this album. It is a fun album. Of course, doo wop. I mean, come on, man. We're talking doo wop. Doo wop is fun. And so you're going to find this album amazing because what Dwayne says is doo wopify a couple of current hits and make them into a doo wop sound. And they do an amazing job of it. But you have to listen to the interview to know which ones they are. So it was a great time chatting with them. The album is about to drop when you guys hear this, if you're hearing it at the interview on the day that I post it. And you can get it wherever you buy your music from. And I do encourage you to buy it, not just stream it, because our groups need our support, and that's the best way to do it, as well as see them in concert, which you can go to their websites. We say that at the end of the interview. And while you're at it, if you don't mind, speaking of support, would you mind hitting like? And if you're not already a subscriber, please hit subscribe wherever you're watching or listening to this on, because that's how we keep going, is knowing you're out there, and the subscriptions, which are free. I'm not charging you for it. That's what makes the world go around for us. So if you could do that, I'd greatly appreciate it. So without any further ado, here is my first of what I hope are many more interviews to come with Dwayne and Dominic from the Doo Wop Project. Until next time, this is Randy Patterson with Boomerocity. Take care.
Good morning. Can you hear me, Robert?
I'm Randy, and yes,
Andy,
I can.
Yes. Sorry about
I've
that.
answered. I've answered to a lot worse. So.
I just had my coffee, so forgive me.
Hey, the world does not start turning until we have that first cup, right? So.
I've been called Dwayne.
Hold on here. I think you're muted. Something happened here.
Interesting. I'm getting here. Can you hear me now?
I cannot hear you.
All right. How about now?
I might have done something. Hold on.
I think I can hear him on my end. I'm not sure if maybe it's on there.
Okay, now I hear you.
You hear me?
Yeah, I think the problem was on my end,
okay.
my earpiece here. So, well, we're rocking and rolling here. I'm loving this. So,
I love your wallpaper.
I asked. Oh gosh, this Zoom has just gotten really bizarre in that it's now starting to try to throw Chat GBT at me right in the middle of us talking, and I don't like that. So I'm going to have to figure something out on that. But anyway, my apologies.
No problem.
Hold on. God, hold on, guys. This is embarrassing. Not now, I told you. There we go. All right. So where's everybody clicking in from? I know Moya's in New York. Where are you guys at?
We're also in New York. I'm in Manhattan, more specifically Harlem, 25th.
And I'm coming at you from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. All right.
Yeah.
Well, and Anna, where are you at? You're just listening in, but I'm going to ask you anyway.
I'm also in New York.
Now, I'm the only hillbilly here, man. I'm outnumbered. I'm in, as the Beatles said, I'm in the Smoky Mountains way down south. So
where down south are you?
I'm in Sevierville, Tennessee, Smoky Mountains, and just about an hour east of Knoxville.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you guys are going to have to do a gig here in Knoxville sometime so I can catch you.
Hey, we'd love to. If you can spread the word, and we'll do the same, we'll be glad to be there.
Well, there's venues of all sizes, so I'm sure one of them would do very well for you. So it's we get good shows through here, and when we don't see them here, we'll drive to Nashville or Chattanooga or Atlanta or Louisville, Asheville. I mean, we're right in the hub here, so it works out pretty good. So
we'd love that.
Well, listen, before we talk about this new album, which I absolutely love, by the way, I've got to ask you guys, doo wop is not it's not, it's really never gone away. But what do you guys think is the big reason why there's that appeal for people still loving it after all these decades? Because it's, it just won't go away. And not that I want it to, but you guys have latched on to a pretty good thing here. And so what are you hearing from fans of why they still love doo-wop?
I think at its core, doo-wop is representative of the theme of love. It's a lot of songs that are based around love. There's not only the love of individuals, but there's the love of doo-wop and the harmonies that are there. I mean, these harmonies are unmatched, and these harmonies and these themes are, for me personally, timeless. Like there's a reason why we're able to take a song and sort of doo-wopify it and still keep it true to its core, because at its core, the theme of love and the theme of fun and the theme of doo-wop and the harmonies that go with it are just simply timeless.
Agreed.
It's also why I love the style is timeless. The way these guys looked in their blazers and suits, and when you look at the overall picture of it all, it's representative of our culture as Americans. Like we are a racially mixed group. And at that time, there were other racially mixed groups that were traveling and trying to promote this message. And we are younger, of course, but we're not as young as you think. and and we feel like doo-wop is definitely still alive. It never died, but there is a new generation that's here, that's living and breathing and may not be as aware of this music as the older generation is. And we're sort of that middle group that's trying to like merge those two generations together. So that's what I feel about it.
How about you, Dominic?
I think that every region can sort of claim doo-wop, and that's one of the reasons why I think it still sort of exists. I think every region is sort of proud of their musical contributions, and every major recording studio at that time. In fact, we were just in Memphis and we stopped by to say what's up to Sun Studio, pay our respects.
Yeah.
And though maybe not a lot of doo-wop groups came out of there, there's always been a sense of harmony with all this music.
Yes.
And and everyone understands that, everyone claims that, and it's also part of the American fabric. Like you grow up in this country and you just hear certain songs. You hear Come Go by the Dell Vikings. You might hear in a commercial, you might hear it at a diner with your grandma, You might hear it just on Sirius XM or something, whatever. But kids know it. They know the tunes. Like we'll introduce a song and they won't know it by name, but when we get to the chorus, we'll see them singing along with us. So I think everybody it's like Elvis, it's like Sinatra, in the United States. I think everyone kind of claims it and honors it.
Yeah. Well, and for me, the way I even see it too is it's what better representation of taking talent from the stoop and the streets to the rest of America. And while it's being performed, you're right there on that street corner. You're right there on that stoop, right there with the singers, and your mind's there. But this success on the stage is what's bringing it to, bringing the two memories together, is, I guess, is one way of putting it. And that's what I love about doo-wop. And one, with everything being so computerized today, and auto-tune and all that kind of stuff, you guys said something that piqued my interest with younger people getting turned on to it. I mean, that's what genre demands that you actually have the talent like doo-wop does, as far as harmonies, timing, that kind of thing. I mean, what are kids saying to you in response to that? Because they can't really fake it, can they?
No, they can't. You don't really see many AI versions of full-on groups doing doo-wop.
That's right.
So that's an advantage that we have. We were just in Ole Miss at Oxford, Mississippi. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dominic.
No, that's right.
And we were performing for, you know, surprisingly a large number of kids. And it was really wonderful to have them there. And they really appreciated and understood and held on to not only the contemporary songs, but they really fell in love with the older songs too. And if you check out, you know, just shamelessly plug our Facebook and our Instagram, Doo Wop Project, you'll see some of those clips of those kids really celebrating us. So we were quite honored, you know, to have the young folks really come out and show up to support. Like I said, there is AI, there's a lot of things going on, but nothing beats the organic sound of 4 to 5 guys just singing and doing harmonies. You know, that's really hard to replicate. And we're very, very, very privileged to be able to have incredible singers amongst us with not just Broadway backgrounds, but backgrounds in some of the history of doo-wop and the lineage in it with our families and friends and coworkers and people who have either worked alongside or know someone who has been affiliated with doo-wop. For instance, our music director, Sonny Palladino, one of his family members was a member of the Brooklyn Bridge. And we do some of that material in our show. So I don't want to give it away because I want you to come see it so you can find out.
Yeah, I want to. Well, you know, for me too, as a fan, when I hear doo-wop and think of it, I mean, is there really such a thing as a sad doo-wop song? I mean, even if it's a sad story, you're kind of the style of music kind of almost like, yeah, my girlfriend died. I'm okay with this, you know, that kind of thing. I mean,
well, I mean, there is when we do a song looking for an echo, you know, and even though it's not a sad song, it is reminiscent of days gone by, you know, and as we look at days gone by, we also are reminded of the people that are no longer with us, you know, and so there's an element of a sadness that comes there, but there is also a celebration and a joy that can also come from it.
from the
Yeah,
memory,
people will often talk about like this was our wedding song. My husband and I danced, you know, to this song at our prom, and then we were later married, and then we spent 45 years together, and maybe one of them just passed, and they come to the concert and they say to us, he or she would have loved this show, and it brought me back. So there's a nostalgia factor to our show. You know, like for my parents, they're a little younger. So my mom has all these happy memories of these doo-wop songs playing when she's 10, 11, 12, you know, and she's playing outside on her street and someone's got a little radio going and they're hearing, you know, the Dell Vikings, the Flamingos coming out of the radio. They're hearing, you know, what are some other groups that I'm missing? Oh, Dion and the Belmonts, of course.
Yeah.
The Marcells, Blue Moon. You know, so these bring up a lot of like happy childhood memories for a lot of people too, and then a lot of romantic memories, which is and it's we're happy to be the ambassadors of that, you know.
I think the world's crying for that kind of thing today. I mean, you know, I know the world's pretty divided the last few decades, and it seems to get more and more divided. And you know, I won't name any names, but to go to a concert and have somebody start preaching politics to me one way or another is not why I go to concerts. I go to escape from that, and I think what you guys do is it's almost a blissful escape, you know, as far as what you provide. And I can't imagine people walking away from one of your shows not smiling. What are you hearing?
You're right. Most of the people are smiling. I think our existence as a group is a political act in itself. You know, we're 5 diverse people from different backgrounds, you know, and we won't
All
go
different parts of the country.
all different parts of the countries, you know, so we you know, when you come to the show, you'll see all of that and you'll see a reflection of that. And so we feel that we try not to get too political in general with us as a band. You know, our goal is to really focus on the music and keep this music alive and let the music be the unifier in our specific settings. It's not missed on us that people may have different views, and we don't try to get involved with that, but we also want to honor who we are, and we really want to just try to keep the music going and keep as much unity as we can for 90 minutes.
Yeah, because it's everyone's music. There's groups that were born, of course, in the Northeast. There's groups that were born in the South. There's groups that were born on the West Coast. Del Shannon's from Arizona. We got the Detroit thing happening. It's like we can all agree that America has produced some of the best popular music ever, from jazz on up. That's a celebration we can all be proud of and we can all take part in.
Yeah, and I think also that if it wasn't for doo wop and the lineage of it, that those lines wouldn't have gotten crossed, and so this music actually allowed us to work and operate together, and so when you're looking at us as a group, you're looking at, to some degree, politics in a positive way.
Yeah, as it should be. Yeah,
right. And it was
politics as it should be.
Yeah, and when we were forming the group, so the group's origin is a lot of us were doing Jersey Boys at the time on 52nd Street in New York, and then but Dwayne was in Hairspray
across the street
at the O'Neill Theater on 52nd Street. So the idea was, let's pull diverse backgrounds, let's pepper this 5-man group. There's no lead singer in this group. We all have our moments where we take lead. Let's get the best singers from all over the country to kind of pull this all together. And that's always been kind of our mission statement. Without even saying it, you just hear us, you come to a show and you hear us, and you'll see the differences in our background, but you'll also see the unity and the brotherhood.
Yep. To me, that's what it's all about. I watched the Chuck Berry documentary a couple months ago, and I was struck by some of the old video of one of his shows in his younger days. And even though there was segregation, they were dancing together from both sides of the aisle, just coming together in the aisle. And I thought, man, if that's not music, I don't know what is.
Right.
Let's get the politicians out of the way. Let's let the music roll, so.
Amen.
So we need for our fellow members of our doo wop group to run for office.
There you go. Yeah.
We'll just sing our way to the top. So
there you go. I'll vote. I'll definitely vote for you guys. So
Charles,
I love.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. It's just a
no,
silly.
you should say it. Say it. I know exactly.
Charles Brown. He's a original member of this group. He played Smokey Robinson on Broadway. Got a Tony nomination for it. So if you come to the show, you'll hear Charles talk about Motown, do some Motown tunes. But we lovingly call him the Senator, just because he's tall. He always presents himself in this beautiful way, And so he's sort of he's the senator of the group.
And it's funny that you mentioned Chubby Checker, because I'm literally looking at a flyer just in my living room, and this is I don't know if you can see it, but it's a flyer with Chubby Checker, because we actually performed with.
Oh wow!
Yeah, alongside the Duprees as well. So
very cool. I love what he did about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction. Man, he was just that was tops in my book. So I love this album that you guys have coming out with. I mean, we're talking in September here, at the end of September. The album comes out in a couple weeks, and I'll post this just before it drops. But I'm fascinated with what all you guys did with it. I don't want to tell the story. You guys tell the story about the album, what's behind it, what was the motivating factor in making this specific album.
I'll let you jump on first, Dominic.
I think this is our 4th studio album. We've gotten a lot of requests over the years about songs that people want us to cover. So we took that in consideration when we chose the album. We chose the tunes for the album. But we also wanted the album to reflect sort of this kind of inner city street corner vibe that we kind of bring to the table. And we wanted the album to reflect that. And we wanted some obscure doo-wop songs. We always like to throw in some, like we have like My Juanita on this album, but of course we do My Girl as well. So it runs the gamut from songs that are really recognizable to like kind of more deep cut doo-wop hits. And then I'll let Dwayne speak to the doo-wopified tunes and that kind of part of our mission statement.
I love that. I love that word, by the way, doo-wopified.
Thank you.
That needs to go into the lexicon forever.
Well, I came up with that word. I'm taking credit for it.
You should.
All right, good deal.
Well, like Dominic said, we try to incorporate contemporary songs and give it a doo-wop twist. Even though the album title is Echoes of the Street, which I want to take a second and say something about that. We want to, as the somewhat younger generation, we want to echo the lineage and the history of doo-wop, and the street sound. So the title of our show, Echoes of the Street, is a nod to that as well. At our core, we are a doo-wop group, and we always want to honor the history, the legacy, the guys who paved the way for us, and to be those ambassadors of doo-wop. We also understand that it is and can be a challenging task in today's market, trying to figure out how to attract younger audiences who are, more so in tune in their phones and not necessarily in tune with doo-wop. So we figured, why not take an idea of making a contemporary song a doo-wop song? So which is why I came up with doo-wopifying, and doo-wopifying a particular song that may be more appealing to a younger generation. So on this particular album, we chose two different artists, Taylor Swift, whom most people know, whether
I think I've heard of her.
Yeah, maybe you heard of her, and so we chose a Taylor Swift song that we thought would be fun for us to perform on stage, and also something that may be appealing to the younger audiences, but with the essence of doo-wop still maybe appeal to an older generation who may not know the song. There are a lot of doo-wop songs that we could cover, a lot of contemporary songs that we could cover, but we try to explore those dynamics and how we would appeal to both generations at the same time. And we hope we did a good job. Come see the show and let us know. We also picked a Nile Rodgers, Pharrell Williams, Daft Punk collaboration of Get Lucky, which we felt was just a fun song in its core first. And we wanted to figure out how we could also doo-wopify that song and just bring the essence of fun, because there's a lot of fun that comes with doo-wop on top of the love songs. And we wanted to capture that with this particular song, and again, marry those worlds together. Both of those songs was produced and arranged by our music director, Sonny Palladino. And we wanted to, again, push that envelope forward, but still capture the essence of doo-wop, because at its core, we are a doo-wop group.
Have you, by any chance, gotten, well, let me rephrase the question. Has Taylor or Niles heard your covers? And if so, have you heard back from them?
Well,
or from their attorneys? I don't know which, but
we've cleared the rights to record those songs.
Yeah,
so.
we've got that part right. We cleared the
rights.
So, I don't know if we know a guy who knows if they heard it or not. But we hope that while performing it live or posting it on our socials, that someone will see it. Our goal isn't necessarily to bank off of them, so to speak.
Right.
It's really to just make sure that we can appeal and take something and give it a doo-wop essence that may be able to bridge these worlds more. Yeah. And by not only choosing these songs, but choosing these particular songs that are fun for us to do, that we could just marry those worlds together. So we hope they hear it. I'm pretty sure they will hear it. I'm more than sure that they will hear it in my gut. And we hope that they like it. you know.
Well, I
But
think you're doing a great job on all of that. What aside from covering more current tunes and doo-wopifying it, what was different about recording this album compared to the other ones you guys have recorded? Or maybe even other albums that you've worked on for other people? What has made this album markedly different to work on and getting it ready for the world to hear?
This album was a little bit more of a challenge because we're creating an album that we want to bring to our live shows. So everything that we chose to record in the studio has to be translated into a live performance too. So essentially, like the the tracks on Echoes of the Street are a part of our set list for this upcoming show. So usually, like, we do the show for a while, then we record the album. This time we recorded the album first, and now we're going to do the show. So that was a little bit more, it made it a little bit more difficult. Always juggling everyone's schedules. That's kind of like the main feat of keeping this group together. I mean, any adults, right? I mean, there's 5 singers, there's our musical director, Sonny, and then we play with 5 musicians behind us. Usually the same people. They may sub in and out from time to time. But coordinating schedules with everyone, you know, for 2 days of marathon recording is a feat unto itself. But we pull it off. We always pull it off, and we're proud of it. And now we're getting it on its feet and doing it for live audiences, and they're really enjoying it. So it's
I
working
think
out.
it's
Very
also
cool.
a marriage. It's a marriage of choosing songs and material that not only works for us, but also appeals to the masses at the same time. You know, in our original choices, you know, we, personally speaking, we kind of lean in more on the songs that we felt were like core songs that we feel that should represent doo-wop. And we wanted to open that spectrum a little more so that we got more input from the listeners and the patrons who have attended our shows. So we really wanted to reflect that with the younger audiences who have attended our shows, the older audiences who have wanted to hear certain songs for a while, and also showcasing our extended range and vocal abilities, and exploring more Broadway material, as you'll see on this album. Also just figuring out, because there's so much to choose from. I mean, like, doo-wop is so vast in the choices of songs. We wanted to figure out how we could extend that range on our album that may stick out or be a little bit more different from the previous selections that we had before. And I think we have a really good representation of that.
I think so too. Were there any surprises in putting this album together?
I think Dominic will lean in more on this, but one of the songs that we have on this album is Ooh Wee. And I will let Dominic speak about that.
Yeah, that was a surprise. That's a great. Dwayne, I almost forgot about that. There's a gentleman who wrote from Looking Glass, who wrote Brandy is a Fine Girl. His name is Elliot
Yeah.
Lurie. Yeah,
Yeah.
great guy. He sent us a song that he wrote. He found us on Spotify, and he grew up in Brooklyn and grew up singing doo-wop. And he's a writer, and he's always writing. So he reached out to our manager and sent us this original tune that he wrote, and we really liked it, and it worked out well for the timing of the album. So we recorded it. We haven't performed it live yet. We're hoping to do that with him at one of our upcoming
fun.
shows. Yeah, so that was a really fun surprise. And so it's our first original song that we recorded. And I think that maybe that's going to give us an itch to record a couple more original songs too.
Well,
So.
I was pleasant in reading the one sheet about the album that Moya sent me. I was stunned. This is going to sound terrible, but I thought he had already departed this planet, and to find out that he was, because I reread it and I thought, hold it, maybe this was from his estate. And I written, no, the dude's still alive, so
Yes, he
yay,
is.
But I was so glad to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Andy.
he was too.
Brandy's still a fine girl, Randy. Brandy is still a fine girl.
So which album would, I mean, which song on this album would you guys point to as a calling card for the rest of the record?
Wow. I think that's a really good question, and it's hard to decide because these songs really represent such a vast spectrum of who we are as singers and who we are as artists. If I'm going to personally choose a song, I will say Sincerely. I think it really captures the essence of doo wop the way I like to hear it. Dominic here is the lead singer on that song, and it just sounds absolutely beautiful to me. But on the fun side, there's the one of the favorites of Blue Moon, of course, where I get to pay homage to Fred Johnson.
Yep.
And it's lovely to do that, and to be able to take that torch and pass it on. We also have, not to shamelessly plug it, but we do have our doo-wopified songs, that may appeal to the younger generation a bit more. Not sure. Hopefully they'll love both. But what we're bringing to the table is very varied. So I think if you asked each person in the group, they may have a different answer. But those would be my choices.
So Dominic, to that point, what would you point to as calling cards for the album?
I think those are all great. Everything that Dwayne mentioned, I agree with. But we did record "Looking for an Echo," made famous by Kenny Vance and the Planetones. Happened to got to know Kenny a little bit. He's such a sweet, nice legend of a man. And his guitar player, Johnny Gale, who's one of the Planetones. So I definitely I really pushed to do that song and put it on the album. And we end our show with that tune, this particular set. So that to me, Looking for an Echo, that's kind of what it's all about. I mean, I started singing harmony with my friends in the parking lot after musical theater practice. This is in the 90s. And we were just looking for that sound, that harmony sound, looking for that echo, looking for that feeling when everyone's singing the right part and you're all on it together in key. There's no better feeling as a vocalist than that. So that song for me kind of encapsulates what the album is trying to say, and looking back and, appreciating those experiences.
Yeah. Well, I know you guys need to run. So one final question. I know the answer to this, but tell now future fans or brand new fans when they watch this interview, where can they learn more about you guys, where you're going to be playing, things like that?
You can find all that information on our website, www.thedoowopproject.com.
That's right. www.
Again, that's the www.thedoowopproject.com.
Nice harmonies on that, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tour dates, our Facebook page, all that stuff.
Very good. Very
You
good.
can also check us out on, not to shamelessly plug, but we have to, on Spotify, where our music will be able to be streamed, as well as some other streaming platforms. Our
YouTube.
Yes, on YouTube as well. Our album comes out on October 10th. So be on the lookout for that.
Very good. Very good. Well, guys, I hope to see you on the road sometime soon. And in the meantime, stay safe. And let's do this again sometime when your next album comes out or another big project you want help plug. My door is always open to you guys.
Randy, we really appreciate it. Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Stay safe.
You too.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.